Everybody, Patriot Sun shines bright tonight. Patriot Sun's podcast, episode 117. Before we get too chatty, I'm just going to go ahead and jump into a video from John Stossel real quick.
The original sin of slavery.
The original sin of slavery.
Today, Americans are taught when it comes to slavery, America was the worst.
The Atlantic slave trade from Africa to the Americas was different from any other type of slavery.
The United States didn't inherit slavery from anybody. We created it.
American slavery was worse because
the slaves were reduced to property. They were chattel property. No other system of slavery did that except American slavery.
That's complete nonsense.
Wilfred Riley is a political science professor and author of Lies My Liberal Teacher Told Me.
Generational slavery, like if you're the son of a slave, you're a slave. That was extraordinarily common. Slavery around the world was slavery.
Books like this, Unfinished Nation.
Yeah.
Slaves in Africa were kept unfree only for a fixed term.
No, is the short answer. Most of the slaves taken by these sort of players would be either kept as slaves for their entire life or, more likely, sold to the whites and the Arabs in 2 years.
Today, partly thanks to the New York Times 1619 Project, students are taught that America's slavery was unlike anything that existed before.
We're the worst society ever. We've done things that no one else has ever done. Sometimes there's nothing wrong with acknowledging your historical mistakes. I mean, I'm Black, Irish, a bit Native American, at least per the family lore. I mean, those are three peoples that have experienced a great deal historically. Nothing wrong with acknowledging that. But it's extremely odd to focus only on the negatives of your society and to exaggerate those.
Americans are taught that slavers caught people in Africa and shipped them here. But few are taught that most slaves were not shipped to the United States.
Between 10.7 million and 12 million slaves from Africa went to the New World. We got a little under 400,000.
Under 400,000 out of 10 million.
The extreme focus on slavery in the United States, why did that happen? One reason is that a lot of Black people survived here. Slavery was harsh, but it's a lot less harsh than clearing the Brazilian jungle.
All right, but American Blacks are at a disadvantage. They have less capital. Financial and educational capital. What's the harm in pointing out how abusive white people were?
The harm is that pointing out how abusive white people were is not going to get Black Americans any more capital. Most of the problems of the modern Black community don't have anything to do with historical ethnic conflict 160 years ago.
The Great Society asked not how much, but how good.
Riley says most of the problems began when welfare began.
Crime in the Black community, every time I've tried to break this out, increased about 800% between, say, 1963 and 1993. Racism didn't increase between 1960 and the modern era. You're looking at the impacts of the Great Society, the welfare programs.
Riley argues it's better to teach the truth that almost every society had slavery. The Aztecs, the Persians, Egyptians, Greeks, Romans, Vikings, and most of all, the Arab world.
The Arabs were probably history's premier slave traders.
Sometimes they captured poor whites from Slavic countries.
The Muslims, many of whom were dark-skinned or even Black, took so many blonde slaves out of this region that they gave the word slave to the global slave population.
Many slaves were forced into harems.
Sexual slavery was very much a part of slavery. Like if your group was defeated in war, the men would probably just be killed or they'd be sold as farmhands. The women would often be sold as harem girls or prostitutes.
More than 1 million Europeans were enslaved, but Muslim slave traders took more people from Africa.
The Arabs targeting Africa took out about 17 million people.
The British and then the Americans were the rare people who moved to abolish slavery.
So yeah, the British Navy, in a story almost no one now knows, sank something like 1,600 slave ships. It freed 150,000 people that were enslaved at the time.
Because the Brits objected for moral reasons.
Yeah, they'd had enough of it.
Saudi Arabia only abolished the slave trade relatively recently.
Well, that's another inconvenient fact, right?
The Global Slavery Index estimates that even now, although slavery is officially illegal, there are more than 700,000 slaves in Saudi Arabia.
Where there were no Westerners, you'd have a lot of slavery for a long time. And you do.
American slavery was horrible, but it wasn't unique. Our culture would be healthier if we learned about that. And schools dwelling on America's evils hasn't helped Americans get over them. Gallup polls show that after schools started focusing on oppression, race relations got worse.
The idea of generational slavery, the idea of slave trading, none of that was unique to America. And another thing, you don't need radicalism to critique the worst excesses of an existing system. All you need is incrementalism and honesty.
In a few weeks, I'll post a video about another of Riley's myths, the claim that before Columbus, the native people were kind stewards of the environment.
I know every rock and tree and creature has a life, has a spirit.
Oh, that's so awesome.
I'd date her.
The cartoon?
No. The idea that the natives were good stewards of the environment. I mean, come on.
Like they're not humans and have human nature. I know.
Come on. Come on.
These school teachers are off their rockers. They're libtards anyways, most of them. And you know what? I find it odd that we're constantly talking about these reparations and slave treatment and stuff today when these libtards are the same ones saying, well, COVID, let's just all move on and get over it. Let's all move on and get over this. But no, not slavery. Let's not move on with that one. Let's destroy the white people's lives, and we don't have to, progress from that. I just find the whole thing just so stupid.
Sean, Edward, Paul, let me throw this on the fire. All right. 11 million, maybe 12 million slaves set sail for the New World. 14 million were sold into slavery into the Middle East. Where are the African minorities in the Middle East? Show them to me.
Yeah, I know.
They don't exist because all of them got their nuts cut off, or they were subsumed in the indigenous population. And yet now the brown and the black people are allies. Sorry, guys, I'm not gonna buy it. Okay, Gaddafi and the rest of them, it was all a bunch of crap from the jump. I'm not saying that anybody in the New World was wonderful for owning slaves. I'm just saying that humanity exists on a gradient. And if you were sold into slavery into the New World, you got a lottery ticket because you could still be over there in Liberia or wherever the hell you were, and you'd be, I'm not going to go there, but you'd be dead. If you would be dead if you were sold into the Middle East and you'd never had any kids or anything else. You had no kind of life. So just don't give me this crap. I don't want to hear it.
No.
Well, I'll tackle reparations a different time. I've got a different stance on it than you do, Edward, but that's not really where I wanted to go. I want to go with the constant barragement, right?
Yes.
That America was the unique evil empire, and the founding fathers were all slave purchasers. I'm going to tell you, you're going to find stories that show that most of the founding fathers, well, they either inherited through marriage or from their parents passing slaves, didn't in fact buy slaves. And you're going to go, well, Benjamin Franklin, Sean, did you know that Benjamin Franklin only bought a few slaves because he was buying one of his slaves, inherited slaves, husband or wife, and he was reuniting their families, and that was the only way you could do it.
He bought their freedom. That's what he did. He bought their freedom.
You know what? I don't even care. America had the best well-treated slaves than all the other, and there was 4 major slave countries that, like, the Indian slave trade was huge. It lasted 1,200 years, not just 400 or 375 like America. This goes back 1,200. Saudi Arabia, same thing.
Could probably point out to you that there's still slavery in India and Asia.
I know, but
There is.
no one wants to talk about that.
I mean, Saudi Arabia right now. I mean, there's no doubt. Okay, William Wilberforce. That's the name that the Brits want to hang on to. And I'll give him credit for that. There was a religious revival in England that overrode the crown's predilections and ended the Royal Navy entered the overseas slave trade because people in Britain were as mad as we are now about no prosecutions of Democrats. Okay? I mean, we're almost, Edward, we're almost at a fever pitch right now.
I
Okay?
feel up here. I know.
The anger is bubbling. I can't even imagine what it's going to be like after the first of the year if there's no arrests. These guys have bit off more than they can chew here. Todd Blanche thinks he can dribble out the clock, but Wilberforce and the Brits figured out that they couldn't dribble out the clock on the overseas slave trade, so they sent the Royal Navy down there to end it. And that's what they did because they were always smart. They understood that civil unrest was the enemy of a small minority trying to govern a whole bunch of people. So the Brits always made those kind of compromises. I've yet to see if the deep state is that smart.
Well, isn't it also ironic, don't you think, Alanis Morissette, that the British Navy started doing this when the American Republican Party formed in 1850s with the mission of ending slavery, and Europe's Great Britain was like, "Oh, you can't beat us to this. You can't beat us to this, buddy."
Right.
Another point I think we have to bring up, and we have to, the unions for years has been drilling into our heads that they're the ones that abolished child slavery and worked in the most hideous conditions, but it was actually the church that did all that. The unions cannot take any I don't even know what used for words, accolades for that, because they didn't do anything. It was the church that did all that. They just jumped in and said, "Oh yeah, look what we're doing." Yeah, you joined in after the churches had to make the first move, and then you joined in. But it was the churches first. So,
the union saw how quickly you could collect money through a collection plate, and they said, "Well, we can just charge them dues."
I agree with you, Edward. I agree with you, Edward. But I'm going to challenge you right now. Where are those churches now?
Well, unfortunately, they've been all watered down and all beaten up, and most people gave up their church communities for reliance on the government and said, "Oh, we don't need the churches anymore." That's a very European thing to do, by the way.
I've got a proposal that I put out on X today. No one's taken me up on it yet.
What?
Leo, the Pope Leo says that we should not fear the Muslim immigrant or whatever. I said 2 plane loads of jihadis straight to Vatican City tonight, and let Leo set the example of how we shouldn't fear the jihadis.
Yeah.
You know what?
No one's taken me up on it. I mean,
well, that's I've been doing similar things on my journeys on the internet today of calling people to lead by example. So, like Senator Hirono calling for
crazy.
Calling for Hegseth to resign. They said, "You know what, Senator Hirono, you should resign." No, hear me out. Lead by example and resign. Show Pete Hegseth how easy it is to resign. Resign, Senator Hirono.
I don't like her.
Due process for drug boats, right, Paul? I know you want due process for drug boats.
I do. And I want them in the form of a Tomahawk missile.
Excellent choice, sir. Excellent choice. Yeah, we already know what's going on, people. I mean,
we're not barbarians. We're not nuking them or anything. We're just tomahawking them.
Quick! They literally didn't know what happened to them. They just woke up on the wrong side of the dirt.
No, that's right, dude. Sean, it's like the mayor of Hiroshima. He wakes up and goes, "The fuck was that noise?"
Yeah. Wow.
Right?
I go starting the day off with a bang. Yeah, that's punishment.
Yeah.
That's right.
What was Did I hear a plane overhead? Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Well, because those all
Hey, Mama, come here a minute.
those
Oh my
old bucket
gosh.
of bolts could only fly under 10,000 feet because they weren't pressurized. So
Right.
everybody heard them.
Yeah, right.
Everybody heard them.
Yeah, I want to make the other point, about in slavery overall. Like I said, or I think you said, JC, if you got, a ticket to America, you won the lottery basically because the inhumane conditions were in everything and everywhere else but America. America had the best treatment of slaves. So be thankful. And I don't want to get into that Hollywood baloney movie of Roots. That
Oh,
scene
yeah.
we had, that was so corny and so made up and so ridiculous. I can't even stomach even. I couldn't even watch it a second time. I had my fill the
Oh,
first
and
time.
they forced every elementary school kid to watch that when
Yeah,
I was in
more
elementary
lies,
school.
more. I know.
Remember when we told the story of Saint Patrick around Saint Patrick's Day, and that he had spent his youth as a slave? Spent 7 years as a slave. Yeah, he was an enslaved
He was Irish, of course he was.
Scott Irish.
I know. No one talks about those guys, so because they're white. If you're a white slave, well, you don't count for anything. But if you're a black,
Well, that's where the term came from, Slav,
no,
slave.
And that's the part that nobody talks about. How before Thomas Jefferson constituted the U.S. Navy and sent them down there to blast the Barbary pirates to Kingdom Come, they were taking Slavs as slaves off the European coast and giving them to the sultans and all the rest of that. But we don't want to talk about that because that's not politically correct.
no, that won't fit in the narrative of bad America at all. No, I know. Yeah,
And if anybody listening tonight wants to read a definitive story about that, there's a book. I have it in hard copy called White Gold, talking about the raids of the Barbary pirates on the European coast and how they enslaved them and what they did to them. And it's a fantastic read. It's something that you'll never learn in history class.
Right. Yeah.
And it just, I'm sorry, it just makes me angry. I mean, on top of everything else that's going on right now, I mean, it's just too much.
Yeah, well, the reason I bring it up is because it just doesn't get dropped, and nobody's really saying, "Hey, look!" And I saw John's video, and I was like, John does a really good job with his
He
guests
does.
of
He's very
walking
fair.
through this and saying, "Hey, it's totally okay to acknowledge grave mistakes were made." But then you
Of
also
course.
have to acknowledge grave mistakes were made everywhere, and that the United States and England were the first to cure it permanently.
I think they did a marvelous job, and I'm talking about the churches because we keep thinking the 1800s was living like we are today with cameras and monitored everything. There was nothing back then. There wasn't a police force around. You're making a new country, people. There was nothing around, but people don't understand.
New York would have had police. Charlotte would have already had a police force. You're talking like in Indiana? No, just barely. Indiana founded in like 1890.
Indianans.
I'm talking
Missourians.
I'm talking the first settlers.
Edward, I understand.
They came to America.
I understand your pro-church bias. I formerly shared it, but I'm growing impatient. Since the '60s civil rights movement, I haven't seen the church do shit. All right? I'm sorry. They've thrown in on the side of the political left.
Somehow, right.
Yeah,
I
and
agree.
I sent you guys a fantastic video today of Tucker Carlson and the guy talking about the vaccines. All right? And okay, if you don't have it, I'll send it again because I've got it bookmarked.
Yeah.
But he was working with McCullough and he was going on for 2 hours. I got through the first hour and he actually talked about how compliance with the vaccine was a metaphysical experience for people. This wasn't just about money. This was about power, enforcing the will of something beyond time and space on humanity. And that is the first time, that's the first time I've heard someone name the beast, because that's what that was.
I've got it bookmarked. I'll check it out. I saw Paul trying to jump in. Hopefully, he didn't lose his train of thought.
Go ahead, Paul. I'm sorry. I just
No,
get worked up.
I was taking notes, you know.
No, brother, I'm so sick of the friggin' church. They've been sitting there holding their dick in their hands for God knows how long, and they've done nothing.
Well, they're a different country now. They're just not the country that you and I know, JC. They're not that anymore. They've been inundated with the Muslims. They've been inundated with Southeast to Southwest Asians, and they're just not the same country. And
let me stick up for Sean. The first thing that happened to the churches was the women. All right, and not wanting to piss off the girls and just serve them coffee and donuts so they don't bitch. That's what happened. All right, they don't want hard truth.
Well, what happened was, and Edward can explain this pretty well, but basically what happened was that they followed social norms instead of staying traditional. That's the cleanest way I can put it. They didn't stay traditional. And we joke, Edward and I joke often on Tuesdays about how a church will go that way, then a bunch of people will break off, and it'll become the third Reformed, second Presbyterian, Lutheran Baptist church, because we can reform and be better Lutheran Baptist Presbyterians than you can be with your silly nonsense and your feminism.
Well, Presbyterian's just a Baptist that knows how to read.
Well, honestly, it looks like the Presbyterians, when Edward and I were really digging into it a couple of years ago, the Presbyterians are most likely the separatists who started the New World.
And that was what I was talking about when I said when they got here, they had no police force or anything. They did a very good job of organizing and keeping things pretty clean, regardless of what we see from history. I think they did a great job.
Now, it seems to me that the separatists would be the Lutherans, right? I mean, I'm a
no.
Martin Luther Paul.
The Lutherans totally did a different separation, right?
Okay.
This would have been separatists fleeing the Church of England as opposed to
okay. No,
the
I got you
Lutheran
now.
reform from Catholicism.
Yeah,
I got you now. I mean,
so I got to tell you, we had something pretty epic happen Sunday. We've been going to this Baptist church here in Hawkins, you know?
Yeah.
And we've gone for a couple of months now and decided we wanted to become members.
Awesome.
So when it came down to it, Tanya was like, dude, I love the church. I love the people there. But I'm Serbian Orthodox. I mean, that's generational.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And so, being a, shithead that I am, I was like, well, this ain't going to fly with the Baptist convention, So we went and talked to the pastor, and he said, look, I don't care where you get baptized, and I don't care what you get baptized into. If you want to be a member of this church, we'd love to have you.
That's great.
We found a Serbian Orthodox church in the Dallas-Fort Worth area.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
And we're going to go there and get her baptized, but she's going to be a member of the Hawkins Baptist Church here. So
that's excellent.
Well,
yeah, it's pretty cool. And it was just cool that the pastor was cool. He's like,
that's awesome. As long as it's not a mosque, I don't have a problem with it.
Right?
Right? Yes.
Yeah.
Well, we wouldn't be married 26 years.
I
if
think
we
we
was going to a
we
mosque.
found that compound to be only about 3 hours away from where Paul's domicile is. Isn't that about 3 hours? Wasn't that where all that like 50,000
Yeah.
homes are
Yeah,
going
about
up,
2.5.
the
Yeah.
mosque
Yep.
and
And Paul, I want you to give me your word. You're going to keep an eye on the grooming gangs down there in Texas because you know they're going to try to set those up like they did in Britain.
Oh,
And
absolutely, dude.
I know you're the man for the job. You sniff that shit out, make
Yep.
sure you get a posse, and take care of business. That's what Americans have to do now.
lawfully take care of
Well,
business.
absolutely. Oh, I would not recommend anybody break any laws, for sure. But blow the whistle and blow it hard, and make sure that everybody knows what's going on, and shame them into acting the same way
Yep.
we're going to be doing with a Republican Congress going forward.
If you get it on video from inside your truck while you're rolling by, we will broadcast it live to the world.
Absolutely,
That would be cool, wouldn't it?
That would
Yeah.
be great.
Yeah, it's totally available. We've already done one where you provided a bunch of footage, and I was
Yep.
able to bring it up. It was a great show. I
Yeah.
actually
It
referenced
really was. It was cool, wasn't it?
Yeah,
The
I
video
actually
clips
referenced
were
it. I have it
awesome.
bookmarked because people will
Yeah.
tell me that AI isn't going to take over the world, and I'd be like, we don't even have to put boots on ground anymore. Check out this podcast. All of this stuff is human optional equipment. And they're like, what? I said human optional.
Yeah.
I do want to know what's going on down at Colony Ridge. I mean, nobody talks about it anymore, but that's where all the illegals were when the real estate developers in Texas and all the corrupt sons of bitches were putting them in housing and all that. It was Dan Crenshaw.
JC, it never took off.
That
There's
stuff just
all
makes
these
me
empty plots out there and stuff. They built a few houses. They drug out some 1972 single wides and put them on some of the lots. But it just hadn't expanded like the media is trying to tell you Colony Ridge has done.
Good.
It's just it's failed.
Good. You guys are the front line. You need to turn it back, and whatever you need us to do to help, let us know.
We'll drop down
some sort of executive order that Abbott put in that like cracked down on lending to illegals.
So he cracked down on lending practices for people that don't have citizenship, and he cracked down on qualifications for loans where you had to prove, because there's some illegal lenders out there that are going, yeah, you don't have to have a job, dude, we'll loan you the money.
Right. USAID will pay us back.
These guys are going to homestead Texas with illegals. That was the plan, and the developers were all going to get filthy rich, and you guys are all going to get screwed.
Yeah. It's not working, JC. The Texas people have said, "Nah, this is NIMBY, not in my backyard.
Not happening."
Yeah.
Well, I just, I give Edward a lot of crap, but all I have to say is once you start replacing the gospel of the Christ with social justice, you are off the path.
Yeah.
And that's what these people have done.
I know. And by the way, aren't they trying to take apart that Somalian settlement in Minnesota right now?
God, just stop.
No.
8 billion.
You say no?
8
No,
billion
no,
plus.
because it's not a settlement. It's the biggest cities, the twin cities of Minneapolis and St. Paul, Minnesota. It's a city of 1 million people with 10% or more of that being Somali.
80,000. I heard there was 80,000 illegal Somalians there.
Okay, well, if that's just illegal, I'm saying at least 10%, so 100,000 Somalis.
Yeah, 100.
Okay, all right, okay.
Out of the entire population of Minneapolis.
I mean, they're lining up across Minnesota to drive by Tim Walz's house and scream retard out the window of their car.
That lineup started here in Toronto, by the way. They're lined up
That's Tim
here
on Tim.
all the way,
Yeah.
just for sport. Because
Oh, did you guys? The
we
GTA people were renting party buses to drive by the Walls mansion.
Yeah. Retard.
Can we rent a bus like that and do that?
He's such a pussy. He's complaining about it. So all that means there's like 3 or 4 times more than people that would do it than otherwise.
I seen
So another little known fact is the largest population of Serbs outside of Belgrade is Chicago.
Yep, absolutely.
Wouldn't
They
surprise
don't
me.
make any damn noise, Paul. You
Huh?
go eat at the rest. They
Does
don't make any
Tanya-
damn noise.
Does
Sir?
Tanya have any relatives up there, Paul?
No, we did some scans and searches and stuff. I've got a buddy, Mike Pavlovich, who's an investor and stuff, and a few years ago we did some stuff together in the Balkans, made a little bit of money and stuff, and he's real big and real popular in Chicago. I think one day he'll be an alderman or something sometime, but he's just a friend, not blood relative.
Right.
Well, yeah, but the difference is what I was saying, Paul, because obviously grew up in the Indiana backwash of Chicago, was that the Serbs don't make any noise. They just assimilated, and they still have their culture.
100%. They love America. They've
drive over,
assimilated
go to one of the
100%.
restaurants. They do their things, but they speak it in
Yeah.
American with a very heavy accent.
Yeah,
And-
and
and-
they're one of the hardest working blue collar sections of that part of the country. There's
Absolutely.
construction companies and plumbers and painters and
Restaurant
all
owners,
that.
deli
That's what
owners.
they do. And to make sure they can make ends meet in Chicago, they set their wives up in a 7-Eleven type environment while they're out painting houses. Mama and the grown kid, the whole workforce is family.
Well, one of the other things about the Serbian community that's there is that most of them, no matter how long it took, 7 years, 12 years, they did it the legal way. And if they had to
Right.
go home for a week or
Always.
for a month
Right.
to redo their paperwork, get their visa renewed, and come back and
Yeah.
say, I'm still in part of the process, they did that. Whereas you see so little of that happening, really since Obama, right? Which is why Trump has just had to cut off immigration from third world countries at this point.
Right.
And everyone calls him a racist. And I said, no. Or go ahead and call him a racist, and I don't care. because the
It's a
word
rational
doesn't
response.
mean anything anymore because you've been calling me a racist my whole life.
Right.
I don't even know what that word means anymore.
Yeah.
So I'm going to call you a retard. Do you know what that word means?
It means you're tampon Tim. That's what it means.
Hopefully, the left will finally get their due coming up. The primaries are coming. I'm hoping that a lot of these people that in
Primary,
these communities,
Democrat primary, even the Republican primaries, it's a problem. Primaries
Right now.
will go through exactly how you think they will. The left will get their preferred candidate. The right will get their DC preferred candidate. Now, what's going to be interesting in Texas is Jasmine Crockett. Hear me out before you laugh too hard because her campaign video is hilarious. But hear me out. What you're going to get is a barometer now in Texas on a much larger scale than what her congressional district used to be as to how much TDS there is in Texas. And you'll know by how much of a vote she gets against the Republican. You're going to get a real TDS barometer live for everyone to see this November, this coming up November.
If 35% is the bar, I'm going to take the under. In Texas, I don't think it's higher than that.
Well, they say it's not really a red state anymore. So I don't know. They've shipped so many people.
Edward Trump won Texas by 14 points.
The major urban areas are blue. So Austin's blue, Houston's blue, Dallas is blue, Fort Worth is red.
Starbase is purple.
And all the rural areas are red, right?
So now it's a purple
and they
state.
redistricted
not purple.
Crockett's.
It's not?
It's not purple? Yeah, they redistricted, so I'd be surprised if she won it again.
Well, she can't win that again. That's why she made a bid for U.S. Senate.
She's running for the Senate against Paxton.
Which is why it's going to be instead of her tiny little district, she's running in the
statewide.
Her now district covers half the state. She's one of two people running for Senate.
And she's running against Dan Paxton?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to find out how that big booty plays statewide, man. I say it's under 35%.
Paul, you're going to find out. This will be an actual barometer in Texas, statewide, to see how much TDS exists in Texas, and I think it's higher than most people will let on because
they
have been beat up on their social media, their Facebook, their TikTok accounts, the TV channels. They are sick and tired of just hearing people. They're like, I just want Trump to go away. Even if I like his policies, I want him to go away so people will shut up.
But they don't. See, that's just the thing. You got to understand. Oh, we'll just elect them and then they'll settle down. Like hell. Did they settle down when they elected Biden?
Yeah. No.
They turned it up. They turbocharged it.
Yep.
And then they went for broke.
Memories are short.
Yeah.
And they don't do what we do as a hobby and do this live on the internet 3 or 4 times a week.
Right.
We're totally plugged in and see what's going on. Yeah, they'll have totally forgotten. They're just going to be like, I'm sick of turning on my TV right before I watch Thursday Night Football and I catch the nightly news and it's Trump that, Trump.
So they want to see. So they want to see Jasmine's double wide fat ass on TV. Is that what they want?
It will be a barometer. You're going to see she will get more votes than you expect.
And her sewer of a mouth. I'll take under 35%.
Oh my God, I'm not a Benny Johnson fan, just for all of you that know, but Benny Johnson.
No, I'm not either.
On his timeline today, he posted a podcast he did a year ago that walks through the life of Missouri's Jasmine Crockett going to the country school there at $70,000 a year for high school.
Don't listen. I know she's from Missouri. Please don't say that. All right.
Her education total from high school all the way through law's degree was about $1 million. She has been one of the best.
I know it's our fault.
High SAT scores, high grades in college. Everything you see about her acting ghetto is kabuki theater. It's kabuki theater.
Yeah, she's Cori Bush.
Oh God!
I mean, how many people have thought about Cori Bush since she got voted out?
Man.
No, Jasmine Crockett and Cori Bush are twin daughters of different mothers.
Yeah,
they're worthless, potty-mouthed assholes.
He's a man girl. Yeah. Yeah, you know what? I'm disappointed that she puts an act on that she's from the ghetto or grew up in the ghetto. It's far from ghetto life.
Why wouldn't she? It works.
Yeah.
It works.
I guess if you don't know the background, and I guess you can people some of the time.
Are you going to admit what we all know to be true?
Admit what? What do you mean?
Well, she's playing to the dumb people.
Oh,
that's
God.
What she's doing. She's looking for the dumb vote. That's That's the game.
And Rush coined it perfectly. It's the low information or no information voter.
Low information is correct. That's very true. And that's why I have no problem
And
with
that doesn't necessarily mean, like, if you just met them on the street, you would find them to be dumb, right? They don't care.
You have no problem what?
They don't care about politics. They don't care about the news. They care about things that are important to them, like PlayStation, like getting enough money through work, making sure they get benefits of whatever they benefits they're supposed to get. They don't really care who the president is, but they hear a 30-second TikTok from Jasmine.
Yes, they do.
Talking a specific way, talking directly to them, and they're like, "I like that chick."
And on top of that, when you hear the elites going on about AI, they're talking about Neuralink and all the wondrous things that we can do. And one of them slips up and says something about, I think we could probably make black people smarter. And I'm like,
what?
Who said that? Maybe
you really said that out loud? You really said that on videotape?
Oh my gosh.
No. And I mean, but the point is, Jasmine is fulfilling that role of dumbing it down to talk to people that she thinks are stupid enough to go along with the shtick. That's all it is. And if I sound hateful,
Edward, I think JC and Paul will both agree with me on this. Like, you can see this in corporate world, and I'm going to take race completely out of this. But you could go into a meeting with your CEO or maybe some other C badges, your mid-level management. They wax poetic, they talk eloquently, and then as soon as that meeting's over and you guys hit the car to go to lunch, they're like, "Man, those are the dumbest sons of bitches I ever met. Well, fucking retards." Turn it on, turn it off.
I don't mind, Rush using the term low information voter. I don't like the term myself. I mean, it's calm and everything, but I'm just using the word retard right off the bat because it describes the situation so much more easier and gets to the point. Low information voter doesn't really cut it. And so
you're discrediting how powerfully fun the word retard is, because not everyone's or retard, it doesn't fit just because they're low information. That doesn't make them retarded.
In fact,
what
many of them
is a typically normal person like us who does something really fucking stupid. You're retarded for having done that. Why did you marry that second woman, Sean? You're a retard.
Yeah, I know. But, and that,
guilty.
It does.
Guilty.
Yeah, we all are guilty as far as that goes. That woman trusting.
Yeah, it was gonna work this time. It was gonna work this time. Yeah.
So much. They don't follow society anymore. I forgot. Yeah. But you know what?
I knew what the problem was. It was going to work this time. Yeah, okay.
Oh, my God.
The problem was that men are born with two brains and only enough blood to use one of them at a time.
Feed one of them. Yeah, I know. Know all about it.
What? I think men are guilty, of hoping for the best and working with that, where women do not and are not. Men will do that, look at things on the bright thing, on the bright side, where women, as pessimistic and as evil as they can be, men aren't like that. As a matter of fact, that's why, they took advantage of us back in the garden. We started with them saying, no, don't take her, we'll stand in the way, and we can fix it from here. Well, we can't. We've proven that over the years. We can't fix them. And there's no point even trying. So yeah, let's not get. We could be on it. We could go on for hours.
Where were you? Where were you when I needed you?
For what? Huh?
To advise me. Where the hell were you when I needed you? All right.
I was drowning in my own quicksand. That's where I was.
All right, fair enough.
Yeah.
I mean, Paul's got it made. He's got a wonderful.
I know he does.
The rest of us are screwed.
Yeah, you guys are screwed. I'm on top of the world, Ma.
I love
and I am not. I'm not, or as Jack Sparrow would say, I'm not on the market.
Well, I've taken myself out of the draft, and I'm to the point where I started on the injured reserve list, and then I just said, look, now I'm too old. I can't play the sport anymore.
Yeah.
The
I
disqualified
did
list.
myself.
Physically unable to perform list. That's the one I like, Professor.
I'm sticking with the passport bros on this
You
one.
can't
Sorry,
get
guys.
shit like this on any show. I got to tell you, you got to tune into the Patriot Suns.
Oh my God! Always, you guys will have the best time if you listen to this live, because we open up the chat room, and if you say something really retarded, your chat will be brought up to the top.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
You'll blend with us.
Go ahead and say something stupid. We're ready. We're ready for you.
We can relate. Yeah,
Speaking of stupid, did you see?
We've been there. We've been stupid. Yeah.
Does everyone? Can we all agree on what a bot is? Is that it could be a human, but typically it's not.
Right.
Well,
can we talk about the thousands upon hundreds of thousands of European Union bots that all of a sudden flooded X for the last 24 to 48 hours?
Okay. Let me give you the secret bot decoder ring. I've studied this.
All right.
2014, 2015 or earlier count 100, maybe 80, maybe 180 followers. And all of a sudden, after not commenting on anything for 8 years, today we're going to get active and we're going to fight you because you said something important.
Right. EU strong. Screw you, America. Oh,
Yeah.
Elon's a dictator.
Oh my God.
Paul, did you log into yesterday? Did you log in on X? Like, if you just scrolled, all it was these bot accounts.
Yep.
It's insane.
Ripping the United States, ripping Elon, ripping Trump. And JC nails it. It's an account that was opened in 2009, has maybe 100 followers. Sometimes it's usually 10. They don't post anything.
Right.
And then 5 years later, all of a sudden, activated.
There they are.
Yeah.
Boom.
And they lock horns with you, and you can't get rid of them. That's exactly what happens. Listen, I cut my teeth during COVID. All right. I got bot swarmed daily by these assholes. All right. And on top of that, I had all the public employee bloodsuckers from the different universities and all the COVID experts. And no, not those studies, these studies. And I'm like, you guys, these ivermectin and these hydroxychloroquine studies have been faked with AI. They're not really studying anything. If you don't use zinc with those medications, it's not legit. Oh, what do you think? Everybody's in on it? Yeah, I do. In fact, as we continue to learn about what happened, everybody was in on it. In fact, that video that I sent you today, Sean and Edward, I think I sent it to you too. Paul, I'm going to send you a copy of it.
He might have seen it. I think he's a Tucker subscriber like I am.
No, I did.
Yeah,
I did see
the
it.
sons of bitches were paying off the priests.
I know.
Yes.
To get you to take the vaccine. They were substituting the vaccine for the fucking Eucharist. I mean, the psyop is it just blows your mind. The evil of these people is just off the charts. And I've always been an optimistic person, but I see this stuff and I'm just like, holy crap. What are you guys doing? What the hell is going on?
That reminds me of something my ex-wife said to me. Says, well, let me guess. You're right and the rest of the world's wrong, Ben. I'm thinking, oh, God. Well, yes, that's happened so many times.
Yeah.
So many times, that's happened in society where one guy can be right and the rest all wrong.
Everybody else is wrong? Yeah.
This is the perfect observation that you guys did not catch in our group chat on Saturday. You made the perfect. It was awesome.
What?
I said All right, since I predicted the Cowboys game, I'm going to predict IU over Ohio State by 3. And JC says against all the experts, and I said
Yes.
precisely.
Yes. And we sat there and I watched that damn thing. And then at the end, I sent Sean congratulations. I absolutely, I might have been the only person awake when it ended. But yes, it happened. And Mendoza was with the Lord. That's what happened in that game.
Well, what you said was against all the experts.
Right.
Yes.
We have
Yes.
learned
I'm
there
sick
is
and tired of
no
hearing that
such
word.
thing as an expert.
Or a scientist. Either one of those words, define them, give me names. I don't want to hear our scientist or expert said this. No, I want to know what a scientist
There's
thinks
plenty
and
of
an expert.
pharmacists and doctors that are good scientists. I don't want to shit all over all of those people.
Well, not
Thank
all
you.
of them, but
Thank you.
right.
I mean,
Well,
there's
some good
one here.
pharmacists.
There's one here who's helped a number of people. So yeah, okay.
Correct.
Absolutely.
Correct. But I got to say, though, still, they're few and far between. You know, most scientists that we hear of today.
No, they got crushed. They got crushed by the machine. There's way
They
more
got
than we can possibly
crushed.
believe.
And
Mary Tally Bowden, Dr. Mary
Oh,
Tally is getting
just got
sued still today. She's got a great podcast. To you, anyone that all you gotta do is I believe it's Mary Bowden MD or Mary Bowden PhD is her new account in the title. She didn't change account. She just bought the name from X for a penny, where it was Dr. Breathes or something
yeah.
like that.
MD Breathe.
Don't know.
So that's not her account anymore. She bought her name of Mary Bowden. Just search Mary Bowden on all social platforms and you'll find her. And she's really incredible. And she's going through getting sued by the federal government because she treated patients. She treated patients.
Still happening.
Under the Trump administration, it's still happening.
Can't understand that. I just can't.
Well, no, but Edward, this is what is outraging patriots in the United States is that, yeah, Trump's president, but the machine is still trying to roll. I mean, Todd Blanche, I don't even want to say what I'd like to see done to that guy. All right. But the point is, Pam Bondi is a lightweight. I don't want any more Fox hits. I don't want any more of that crap. Counterfeit cash is my name. I think the guy's worthless. He may not be worthless, but the people above him won't let him do anything. And so he should resign. All right.
So
he really should. To call
Pam.
attention to what's happening to him. But Blanche is Lindsey Halligan got 2 indictments on Latukas and Comey in Virginia, and they got her out of there, and then they brought in their guy, and of course the grand jury turned the indictment down. Imagine that.
Yeah.
Wow. How about that?
What the heck?
Yeah.
I'm so sick of that. I'm so sick of that. Hearing a big build up, we're all excited, thinking finally, and then nothing. No, we cut them loose.
And the only reason that she got the indictments was because she was new and she was honest.
No.
The point is that the poison is everywhere. And this is what I learned during COVID. And they'd all give me that reassuring bullshit about, oh, not everybody can be in on it. No, you're all in on it. The TV, the priests, everybody is in on it.
Hey, Trump, DeSantis' term ends in the middle of next year or late next year. Let's just go ahead and put him in coach. Go ahead and pull him out of the governor's slot. He doesn't have a job to go back to because he can't run for another term as governor.
Let's do it.
He will go F shit up. He doesn't care. He doesn't care. He will process.
Put him in now then. What are you waiting
all
for?
of this
Make
stuff.
him.
So, well, people are all still gonna. People are still hurt that he tried to primary Trump. It was a mistake by him. But I'm saying, look, we have 3 years left of Trump. I know. We're JD. That did. We have 3 years left of Trump. We need to make some major moves. Trump put him in coach, put him in as attorney general, and let him general the shit out of it.
And get Susie Wiles and Bondi out, okay, and bring in Ron. We got to do something.
Like
this is not working. This is not working.
No, and everybody's losing their patience, including me. I'm not even American. I'm losing my mind over this every day.
Could you not? Every day we get exposure of wrongdoing, and nobody gets arrested.
I know.
One. Now, wait a minute. Oh, but Todd Blanche has got a grand jury together where he's investigating Ed Martin for leaking. Yeah, how about that? Yeah, let's put the cuffs on Eagle Ed, right?
That'll fly.
Son of a bitch. All right.
Have any of you are you finally convinced at my theory that the bald eagle, Mark Kelly, is now running for president?
Yes.
And he's running for president on
Hey, Paul, this is for you, brother. Mark Kelly, the bald eagle, thinks he's going to indict his way to the nomination. He thinks that was Trump's secret, was getting indicted.
Yeah, and it's instead of spending his money on windmills and generating energy, he's,
and Chinese spy balloons, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that too.
Oh, wait! Did everybody already forget out there? We don't have any comments. Everybody already forget that the bald eagle, Senator cosmonaut Mark Kelly, had a Chinese spy balloon company. Did everyone already forget that?
What? Say that again?
He had a Chinese spy balloon company.
It was Chinese.
I still didn't catch the type of company he had. The type of company was what?
Spy balloon, Chinese. Mark Kelly owned a spy balloon, Chinese spy balloon company.
I didn't know
that. Like that fucking blimp that flew over the United States.
His were smaller,
that's
but
what
yeah.
we're talking about, right?
His were smaller, but yes. Yeah. And they were completely made with Huawei equipment in China.
Yeah.
And he's even got money in something else, too. I can't remember what it was right now, but it's just as dirty.
I wouldn't be surprised.
No, he's a dog.
Him and Pelosi are probably in on the same deals.
All right, so I got a question for Paul, because we're starting to run the clock out. I know we can run late, but I want to get this in before the hour's up. From the outside looking in, I don't think Ted Cruz is looking real great with his attack on Tucker Cruz instead of focusing on the United States and Texas. But what in general, when you go to the bar, you take the side by side, or is anybody even talking about Ted Cruz in the way that we are from different states and going, what the fuck is this guy doing? Why is he fighting Tucker Carlson?
Yeah, so Tucker posted a pretty acerbic commentary on a Cruz Omar ticket, citing how much alike they were in their thought process and stuff. Listen, Ted's never going to be president. He's got half of the state of Texas. John Cornyn has got the other half. Neither one of them are stellar. They're certainly not presidential material.
Unless you're Tel Aviv Levin, then you think Ted is great.
Tel Aviv Levin. That's well put. Not saying the guy's Jewish or anything. Well, he is, but yeah, that's a great name.
Mark's gone around the bend. All right, but that's another.
Started out strong, just kind of fizzled out to.
Well, I like your term, bald eagle, Mark Kelly. So what I've come up with one for The former governor of North Carolina, who's currently running for a Senate seat, is his name is Roy Cooper, but I'm spreading this far and wide that his name is DC Cooper. And could you ask me where he was during Hurricane Helene?
In
I'll,
DC.
I'll give you the answer. It was DC with lobbyists.
Yes.
Oh,
It's
Yeah.
DC Cooper. His name is DC Cooper from here on out.
all right. New nickname, a new Indian name is going to be DC Cooper. There.
If Mark Robinson wasn't such a dipshit, he could have parlayed that into the governorship, but he did not handle it right.
Man, I reached out. We were doing a different type of stuff that
He's
back
the
when
guy,
I called him.
Sean, just keep going. But he's the guy that needed to pay us a $3,000 consulting fee
All
because
right,
I mean
back to your
had it
point.
made.
Paul and
Yeah.
I were doing, and we're not going to mention the organization. We're not with them anymore, but we were doing a different type of show, different type of content at the time. And I actually reached out to by email the way your proper channels and said, "Hey, listen, we're doing this work, and we're literally doing this work for free.
Right.
Can we just have a 20-minute conversation so that we can be aligned
Try to
with
help you.
your messaging system, or you maybe even offer a suggestion or two and do that?" And obviously, it never got to Mark, of course, but I didn't expect it to. But I got a thanks for your interest. Our next rally is at Durham. Like, what? Did you read the thing I sent you? Because what I was offering to do for free
I know.
was 1,000 times better than what your paid interns were going to do. And I got a thanks for your interest. We're so thankful for your interest. Oh, by the way, the next rally, and to donate. And so
well, make sure you, hey Paul, make sure you send in that money.
Going back to what I've said with you a couple of times on these podcasts is that if somebody's serious, that's really wanting to run a campaign, and $3,000 an hour is pretty cheap, that wants just consulting on an hourly basis, look, there's opportunities for you with this group, and we will tailor it specifically to the right person, to the right job, to the right hour of work.
And for what it's worth, I promise not to scream, and I will absolutely dial it back and do research. You don't have to just put up with the emotion. Anyway,
I'm just throwing it out there again as people listen.
I mean, unless you're with the church, then you're probably going to have to hold on tight. Anyway,
I don't know. I don't know. The Catholic Church, for $6,000 an hour, I might consult for them.
Well, no, I'll consult with them, but I won't dial it back. The opportunity that's been missed over the last 60 years requires a tongue lashing. All right.
Yeah, I have to agree with you. No, I'm not disagreeing. I think that's pretty true. So yeah.
And by the way, I think the Serbian church has probably got it all on Edward's Episcopalians up there in Canada.
You may be right.
What do you think, Paul? I think the Serbians really are smarter than the Episcopalians in Canada. That's what I think.
I think he's going to say the Bosnians are by far superior. Go ahead, Paul. Lost him.
He's texting. No, he's working. He's texting. I can see his phone or phone light.
Maybe he's cursing me out. Okay, got one. Let me see if it's him.
No, I got a few messages from earlier. I know that, but
right on.
I haven't really been reading mine.
All right. Any other Monday or weekend angries before we close this out?
No,
anything. Just you saw it over the weekend and you're like, I really hope Sean talks about this.
Stop giving me shit, John. Yeah, okay, all right.
Tomorrow's a new day. A similar topic, anyways, about the European Union and other things over there going on that we got to talk about. And Brussels isn't even really a country. Don't give me that. It's not.
You need
No,
to wait.
Melvin,
Before we get into that, you need to go to Grok. You're a blue checker. Go to Grok and have it explain to you what a non-human bot is. That way, you kind of can grasp where JC and I are going to go.
I mean, Edward. I've been swarmed so many times. For a little piddly shit 10,000 follower account, I get the snot kicked out of me all the time by these assholes. It's crazy. It's crazy.
I'll definitely do my homework. I'll look that up.
Just
Please
so you guys
do, because it's going to be an integral part of the conversation with what's going on worldwide and what you see, which is it doesn't exist.
it's an information.
Right. It is total pure paid for
Information war. No, it's an information war. There's no doubt that's what it is. By the way, for what it's worth, we may have a guest over the next 2 days. I had hesitated to ask her, and I know I've promised nurses, I've promised friends or whatever. This is a mom that had her daughter die from the vax.
Oh,
all right.
Yikes!
And she's used me as an ear. She's a sweet woman. She's a nurse up in a northern tier state. That's as specific as I want to be right now. But I think that she might join us and tell us what happened.
That'd be great. Give me a few minutes after we close out,
right.
just to make sure we can get her set up properly, if she's bold enough to try.
She hasn't said yes yet, but I brought it up tonight. But I get the feeling that she'll sleep on it and then she'll go for it. That's.
We'll talk. Let me close this out. Let's go back into the dark room, the dark pits of hell of our minds, and we'll chat it out. Let me play the song out, and then I got to take a quick break, and then we'll do the stuff.
To the sun.
See you guys.
Always fun to have you, Paul. So far apart. Hey, everybody, thanks so much for listening to episode 10 Patriot Sun podcast. Have a good night. We'll see you tomorrow.
Have a good one.